Okay, we're back. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and if you just tune in, you're watching now the Dutch Senior Open 2014 Final Step 1. It's the quarterfinal of the men division. 32 players, top 16 qualify for the semi-final. And in the semi-final, the best 4 players after qualification will be added. Then we get 20 players again. These 20 players will play 4 games. And top 8 qualify for the round robin final. Now we're playing 6 games. Just start up game 1 with some delay because there was some troubles with the bonus, with the handicap. They have to be added to the screens, of course then the players can see what the total score is of all those players. So we have cameras on 7 and 8, you see right now. We have also camera focused on lanes 5 and 6. And the other cam, you can see lanes 11 till 13. We got 20 viewers in the early morning, so it's a pretty good start for this event, and hopefully it will be more and more and more. So hopefully you will tell all friends or all the other bowlers on social media like Facebook or Twitter that there is live stream of the finals of the Senior Open 2014. And also don't forget to tune in tomorrow on Monday, because then we get the Masters of the seniors. So the best European senior players of all the 2 stops will play the Masters tomorrow. But that's for tomorrow. Today we start near Chandra bowling, Nieuwegein in the Netherlands. It's in the middle part of Holland, near Utrecht, the big city. And when I take a look around, I see Dutch player Klaas Korter. He starts with 3 strikes in a row. So that's a very nice start for the Dutchman. Here you see Alex Stewart play with a lot of speed. .7 miles an hour. Leaves the 4 pin. Alan Jenskins. Leaves the 6-10 combination. And here Klaas Korter starts with 3 in a row. There is a 4-bagger. low speed, 20.5 miles an hour, what I see on the screens here, but great carry. Erich Kaspari, nice shot. Here you see Alex Stewart. I think this is one of the players who got the highest speed here in this field. That was too far inside. Shoots an 8 again. Here the lanes 5 and 6 with Steve Wright, Mo Singleton, Santo Povensi, Mo starts with strike double spare, Santo starts with 9 miss and double strike. So let's see how the Italian guy can shoot a 3-bagger. No. Too far inside. And it's a 4-6 split. Mo Singleton here. 1-2-10. Well, we're playing on a 40 feet pattern, 40 feet oil pattern. It's 21.2 total oil volume, and the ratio is 5:1. Well, and we take a look this week to where you have to play. I think it's around board 7-8 there. If you put your brake there, that's the best carry. Let's say let the ball go more from the outside, not too far outside. But it seems that's the way to play here on this pattern. Well, here are lanes 11 till 30. Okay, Robert Vallon, he is on a 280 pace. That's based on the scratch score without the handicap. Because if you don't know, these players, all these players in the 50 plus, if you are 50 years old, you get 0 handicap. If you are 51, you get 1 pin handicap each game. 52 is 2, etc., etc. I give you the scores inclusive, of course, but based on scratch, Vallon is on a 280 pace on lanes 11 and 12. Also on lanes 15, 16. There's somebody on a 280 pace, but it's too far from my position, so I can't see who is it. And Erik Kaspari starts with an open frame and 5 in a row in front of us on lane 7 and 8. Also a good start for him. And Klaas Schotte starts after his 4 in a row with double spare and strike. So probably a nice game for him. Werner Knubbel, the guy from Germany, is start with an open frame and 5 in a row on lanes 9 and 10. So a lot of players has a good start in the first game. So almost finished game 1, and we got some great scores here. Werner Knöbel, he starts with 227, and all these scores, I tell you, it's including their handicap. But Iron Buckland, he starts with a 3-bagger, then an open frame, and then only strikes till 10. And now we shoot a 10 pin. And if we spare the 10 pin, it's a 259 game. That's a nice game to start. That seems a pretty good game. I think it's one of the biggest games at 259. We spare, it's 259, Iron Buckland. Well, Robert Valion doing also well. Take a look at Valion. If he strikes out, he can strike out for 267 total score. Herman Wimmer finished 237. André Gelen, double strike in the 10th, is now on 223, and he can strike for 233. And Gabriele Benvenuti from Italy. And 9 in the 10th. Can get a maximum score of 194. So the players playing 6 games. They play 2 games on a pair of lanes. Then after 2 games we get a lane change. So we've almost finished game 1. Then we started with the second game, and if we have score updates, I will let you know as quick as possible, of course. Lane 7 and 8 with Alan Jenskins, Klaas Schotter, Erik Kaspari and Alex Stewart. I see total scores from our position here. Ian Buckland is on 316 at this moment. Sandro Provenci 209, Steve Wright 209. Pekka Tironkoski is on 299. Harry McDecken is on 267 at this moment. Werner Knubbel 284. Gabriele Benvenuti from Italy is on 208. Herman Wimmer is on 288. Ulf Lundgren is on 254 so far. Ron Deacon is on 235 total score so far. André Gele 277, Robert Vallon 263 at this moment. Alex Stewart is on 241, Alan Jenskens is 303. Jürgen Preuss is on 209. Keith Hodge is on 233. Total score at this moment. Gunther Schollen 233 also. Mo Singleton's on 232 at this moment. G. Letry 243 total score. Klaas Schotte 303. Erich Kaspari 324. That's what about the total scores at this moment. And we're running in the second game. Here Erich Kaspari is on 324 now, starts with a double in an open frame. And there is strike again. Klaas Schotte was starting very well in the first game, but now he's on 3 spares, open frame and a spare, and there is the first strike in the second game. And Alan Jenskens here, he starts with a spare and 3 strikes in this game, so a good start in the second game for this guy. See how he can make a 4-bagger. Aye, leaves the 10 pin. Jürgen Preuss, nice shot, double strike for him in the second game. On these pair of lanes also Santo, Vinci from Italy, Steve Wright, Mo Singleton and Preuss. Now Steve Wright, the guy from England. It's a strike, spare strike for Wright. Here the Italian, Provenzi. It's a 7 count. Mo Singleton here. Oh, solid 9. Robert Vallons makes a spare. Gabriele Benvenuti from Italy. Strike, spare, strike. And 9. In the semi-finals will be added the top 4 after qualification: Giorgio Decimio, Carlo Greulich, Ron Altfield and Lowell Ellis. Ron Altfield really, that's a big name. One of the UK Hall of Famers, but we will see in the next round. But in this field you see Mo Singleton, Klaas Schotte, Pekka Tironkowski, André Gele, Ulf Lundgren, Werner Lawn, Les Grant, Keith Hodge, Santo Provenzi, Alan Jenskens, Werner Knubbel, Herman Wiemer, Hans de Jager, Peter Knop. That's also a big name, of course, the guy from Germany. As you know, Peter is playing a lot of events also in the States. He's in this squad. I have to see where he is. Which lane? He playing on lanes 15, 16, so I think we can see him in the second game in front of our camp. But for sure in game 5 and 6 we will see him, I think, on lane 7 and 8. We also have Luciano Di Rella, Gunther Schollen, Jürgen Preuss, Erik Kaspari, Harry McDeacon, Robert Vallon, Ron Deacon, Marcel van der Pot, Helmut Uber, Guy Latry, Steve Wright, Alex Stewart, Ein Bugland, Gabriele Benvenuti, Auke Broekhuizen, Jan Passies, Wolf Grauwe en Johan Letigangas. These players are here in this quarterfinal, man. At this moment, Herman Wimmer is doing very well in the second game. 3-bagger spare strike on a 279 pace at this moment. Ian Buckland, double spare strike, spare and 3-bagger. He is now on 406 in frame 7. And it seems that Ian is one of the highest scorers so far. Top 16 will qualify after 6 games. So if you have some questions and you're watching this live stream and you want to know something, ask it in the chat room. We try to answer as much as possible, of course. If you like the stream of Dutch Bowling TV, please follow our channel on Ustream. Or go to our Facebook page, Dutch Bowling TV, or Twitter @DutchBowlingTV. You can find us for sure. And our next stream will be also here in Chandra Bowling. That will be the Chandra Open EBT, the European Bowling Tour. And I talked with some guys from Storm Rotor Grip, and it seems that very good bowlers will come in Chandra Open. I heard names like Oscar Palema, Dominic Barrett, Stu Williams. So a lot of good players you will see in our next live stream. EBT Chandra Open 2014, it will be in September. I think the tournament will start at 14th of September. So it's the same bowling center. Big event again here in Holland. And we from Dutch Bowling TV, we're very proud to send it live on your computer or mobile or iPad, as you know, Ustream you can find on your mobile also. On iPad there's a free Ustream app. The only thing you gotta do is install it and search for bowling, and you will find the bowling channel live. Well, if you want to avoid the commercials, that's also some problem of a lot of guys. The only thing you gotta do is install AdBlock Plus. You can find it on the website www.adblockplus.org. So adblockplus.org. Well, Herman Wimmer is still on the 279 page on lanes 11 and 12. And when I take a look to the left side here, Jürgen Preuss is doing okay. 3-bagger, spare, strike, spare, strike. And a lot of players got some splits, some open frames. Helmut Huber on lanes 1 and 2 is on 276 pace. Werner Knöbel, the German guy, is finished 227 game 2 and a total pinfall 454. Let's keep it in our mind, 454 after 2. And we try as soon as possible to get a score update. I think we get a score update after 2 games. Here I am Buckland with a lucky in the 10th frame. Can strike out for 234. Here you see Herman Wimmer. That's a 9. It's a 10 pin. Now watch Buckland. That's a better shot. Double in the tent. Herman Wimmer makes the spare in the 9th frame, and if he strikes out, the has a total pinfall including bonus of 279. What will bring him in a total pinfall score of 516. On Wimmer. He's playing with motive primal aids. And leaves the 2-pin. But still a big game. If he spare, he's in the 260s, including bonus. André Gelen now. Can strike out for 251. Gele, one of the Brunswick players here in this field. Shot a spare for Wimmer. Now Gele, can he make a double in the 10th frame? Yes, there's a double. Wimmer. And a strike for Wimmer. Make his total score 268 and a pinfall 505. André Gele strikes out for 251, total score of 484. Benvenuti from Italy, an 8. Yeah, he's a bit struggling in this game. It's not for Robert Valjon, because he has 4 in a row. And now he leaves the 2-pin in the 10th frame. And we get a nice thing in the chat. Somebody tells that Mr. Wimmer plays like hell. He's now 71 years old and plays better than years ago without handicap. That's great. Well said. He's doing really great. Wimmer 505. I think this is one of the best scores here. And Helmut Uber on lens 1 or 2, that's not on our camera, sorry for that, can probably shoot a 260, 276 scratch score, including his bonus will be 291. But he not will be reach the 500, so I think that Wimmer is on top after 2 games. I'm not sure, we will get the score updates, I think somewhere in the middle of the 3rd game. Then we will know who's on top and who are in the top 16 so far after 2 games. Timo Singleton finished 225, 429 total pinfall. Santo Provenci, nice strike, finished with 184, 379 total pinfall for him. Now we see Jürgen Preuss, 68 years old, and a strike. Steve Wright, these 2-5. Jürgen Preuss, playing with the rotor grid shadow. That shoots 7 pins. So for the people who just tune in, we now in game 2, almost finished. We get a score update after somewhere in the middle of the 3rd game, I think. We're playing on a 40 feet oil pattern, 21.2 total oil volume, ratio 5:1. System 300 lane surface. Wooden Brunswick pins. And I think Wimmer is on top with 5:05 after 2, but that's what we think, and we can see from our position. We don't know what happened on lanes 15, 16, but we will know in a few minutes, I think. First we get lane change. And now everybody is finished with game 2 and we get a lane change, and we'll start game 3 in a minute. And we try to get the score updates, of course, as soon as possible. Here we go again, game number 3 of the quarterfinal of the men division of the Dutch Senior Open 2014. Let's see which 16 men will go to the semi-final in this big event, this big senior event in Holland. Still in the running for a first prize of 1,500 euros. Tomorrow, don't forget to watch, because then we'll get the masters here, the senior masters, the European senior masters. You will see the best European seniors playing here in 3 final steps. So we're now in the 4th frame of game 3. Dutch Senior Open quarterfinals 2014. Live from Chandra Bowling in the Netherlands. Helmut Ulbe here. Well, we got some question about the oldest player in this field. The oldest player is Ron Deacon in this final step. Ron Deacon is the oldest. He's 74 years old. Take a look, Ron Deacon, where he is, which lanes. Seems not in our position here. Yeah, he's on 1 and 2, so it's outside of the camera, but that's the oldest player here in this quarterfinals. Years old. I hope I can still play bowling at when I'm 74 years old. That will be in about 32 years later, so it's a long way to go. Well, Simon is looking for a score update for us. And okay, he tell me after 3 games. After 3 games we will get for sure a score update. So that will be in game number 4. Then we get the score update. But we can give you some total pinfall scores right now here. What we can see from our position is Erik Kasparian on 562. Klaas Schotten 564 now. Jenskins is on 546. Mo Singleton 524, Jürgen Preuss 524 also. Pete Hodgson 487, Guy Latry is on 462, Gunther Scholle 472, Helmut Ober is on 577. That's in one of the highest. Werner Knöbel is on 593, Ian Buckland 584. Pekka is on 542, Harry McDeacon 543. I think there's one there in the 600s, but I can't see from here, but it's on lane 1516. That's too far from our position. Ulf Lundgren, the guy from Sweden, he's on spare and 5 in a row on lane 1 and 2, and he's on 619, so that seems also one of the high scores, total pinfall. So let's take a look here on lanes 7 and 8. Eat Hodge, K. Leitri, de Scholle en Juha Letigangas are on these pair of lanes. Hodge is on strike, double spare, strike, spare. Letri here. From Belgium. Leaves the 3-7 split. Well, I got some comment in the chat room. 180 assignments this tournament. The future of bowling is for 50 plus. Yeah, if that is, I don't hope so, of course, because I hope all the tournaments there is a future for all the tournaments. And I can tell you there's a big discussion, not only in the Netherlands here, about tournaments and entries. I don't know where you're from. I know a lot of viewers we get all over the world. We get from every country. Some countries you don't expect. We get also viewers, but I don't know how bowling lives in your country. But the entries is going lower and lower. And yeah, there could be a lot of reasons, like the economic troubles, you know. That everything is getting more expensive. But here in the 50 plus, I was also surprised. I thought it was 184 entries, but including re-entries it was over 300. That's really a lot. That's a lot of entries. And the discussion in Europe, it's not only here in Holland, I told you, it's about the entries. And why is it that there are so less entries in every tournament, like EBTs or regular tournaments? We really don't know the reason, but there could be a lot of reasons. But 180 plus entries, single entries, that's a lot for a tournament. I was watching last week's track open. I thought they have also a very nice entries. About 180 I think, track open in Germany, the EBT. Then we were in the Malta Open tournament. That's really a funny tournament to play. This year it was better than the last 2 years. There the races, the entries again. So that was a nice thing to see in Malta. But I see also some EBTs, there are not many entries, you know. And if all these organizers want to run tournaments, they need bowlers. So if the bowlers don't show or don't come to the tournaments, we have a problem in the future. I hope everybody, also you at home, realize that if you don't play, I think bowling is gonna be die in a few years, and that's not what we hope, of course, and not where I'm waiting for. Well, I hope a lot of people realize that bowling must be alive. Yeah, I see some reasons. The entry fee is too high without the sponsorship. Yeah, that could be, you know. But I'm not sure about that, because if you, the problem is the entry fee must be higher, otherwise you have a prize money and a lot of players won't show, you know. Let's give a reason. Let's say, okay, we make it 30 euros, you know. And I know in Holland, you know, the bowling owners ask, I think you can play a tournament if you pay around 15 euro for one player here in Holland. So that means you have only 15 euro for prize money. You need some fee also for your organization. That means, let's say 5 euro. That means you have only 10 euro for one player for your prize money without the sponsor. So if you calculate that in 130 players, you have only 1800 euros prize money. So that's the reason I think the entry price is higher than, let's say, 30 euros. 30 euros should be perfect, but the sponsors of the last 10 years are moved, you know. Yeah, I think the people who love to play bowling don't care about the money. That's all the time. But I know it's a lot of entry money. If you calculate it, you know, all the entries. Let's say you play 10 tournaments in a year. For sure you will pay 500 euros for all the 10 tournaments. Only the tournament entry. Then you have to pay petrol for the car, food and drinks. Yeah, for some people that's a lot of money, of course. You have to pay money for some bowling balls, for your equipment. But here in this 50 plus event, well, I can tell you a lot of these bowlers love to play bowling. And it's, for me, you know, it's new that we do senior events, but I can tell you, if you look at the lanes here and you take a look from left to right, and you see the mentality of these players and how they're standing on the lanes, is totally different than all the other tournaments we have. Like EBTs, like regular tournaments, like funny tournaments, you know. It's totally different. But I love to watch because all these players are, let's say, yeah, focused, quiet, not so much emotional players. But it's different, but it's what I like, you know. And look at this tournament, you know. The next tournament Dutch Bowling TV will doing live is the EBT Chandra Open. There will be a lot of big players, big names like Tim Max, Stu Williams, Dominic Barrett will come, I think. Oskupalema, like that plays a Storm Road Skip, but they show more and more emotion. And maybe it's their age or the younger, I don't know, but it's totally different than when you take a look here at the seniors. But that's bowling, it's no problem, it's funny to watch. And also a lot of different styles, you know. You look at that tournament, see two-handers. I think there is no two-hander in the seniors. I didn't see anyone, you know, or a big power player like that. I don't see any of them. You know, here one guy, Alex Stewart, he played with a lot of speed, you know, but still he playing straighter. Peter Knapp is, I think, one of the guys here will give a lot of reps on the ball. But most, I think 70–80% is more stroker, a little bit tweener. Yeah, I see also Bernard Bowling in the chat room. He say, I make a promotion a lot of the ESBT two-stop in Munich. Only 76 men and 16 ladies are in. It's really a lot of work to push bowling. I know, I can tell you, because I'm organizing some sports tour now in Holland for the new season, and I need only 30 players for one stop. You know, only 30. That's nothing, you would say, but if I look now at the entries, none of the stops has 30 players yet. It's strange for me, you know. I don't know why. It's 65 euro one stop, so it's over the whole season, and I don't know why people don't see a tournament and make the entry directly, you know. In the past it was totally different. When you see a tournament, you make your entries for the whole season of all the tournaments you play, and you play because you like to play bowling. I think in this time, if you organize bowling tournaments, you have to go to the bowlers. That's in Europe here, I don't know. I think we have some viewers from the States. I know if there are some viewers from the States or other sides of the world, you know, Japan or whatever. I want to know, if you are an organizer, what you do to get full tournaments, you know? What are you doing for promotion? Let us know in the chat room. Yeah, and here Bernard Bowling tell another thing, that he said there are players who don't play or don't show, and they are only 10 miles from the center. Yeah, that's the most stupid thing. You know, they can pick the bike, you know, to drive to the bowling center and play only one squad in your tournament, because every entry in the tournament for an organizer, it's so much better. You know, it gives you so better feeling. So, well, I hope really that everybody who's watching now and play bowling, thinking about make entries, you know. If we have to reach that bowling, I have to reach that we are in the future, like let's say an Olympic sport, well then we need a lot of entries in tournaments, and like me, Dutch Bowling TV or Bowling Digital, Stream for Bowling in Germany, we have Extra Frame in the States. You know, we try to promote it by live streaming, and that's the first step. Talk Tempin in the UK also doing well with a lot of live streaming. But that's the first step, I think, to make it bigger again. And I believe there is a big future for bowling. I believe it, for sure. whatever we do, you know, if you make sport conditions, you make easy conditions, no matter what, you know, if you bring 1,000 bowling balls, no matter what, there is a future, but everybody has to bowl. That's the only thing. If everybody gonna bowl again and show on every tournament, and let's say if you organize a tournament and within a week it's fully booked, well, then there is a future for sure. No matter what the conditions are, no matter what the scores are, there is a future. But you got to believe in it, you know. But if you look at a tournament and you don't have any belief in it, in bowling or whatever, before you make your entry, yeah, then I think the organizer got a big problem. Like now in some tournaments. But this tournament is great. 180 plus entries, that's a lot. So the senior events got a big future, that's for sure. Well, now some players here in this event, in this quarterfinal, are starting frame. Yeah, game 4. Okay, game 4 just started now. And now we're waiting, of course, for the score update. We will get it in a few minutes. They promise us, so hope they're doing in this 4th game. Ellen Jenskes is on 700 so far. And 750 for Werner Knubbel from Germany. And I see more 700s on the left side and on the right side. So take a look around and see where the big scores are. Peter Knapp, one of the biggest players here, is on 624. Lundgren from Sweden is on 761. Nice shot, Les Grant. Take a look here. Mo Singleton starts with a double in game 4. Santo Provenzi from Italy also starts with a double in the 4th game. Klaas Schotte, open frame spare double strike. Erik Kaspari, double strike spare. Werner Lohm starts with 3 in a row. On lanes 3 and 4. Ralph Krauwe, 3 in a row, on lanes 5 and 6. Juha Letikangas starts also with a double on lanes 7 and 8. And Lundgren is struggling now a little bit. Did very well in game 3, but he's now on open frame and 3 bagger on strikes. Spares, sorry, no, 3 spares. 3 bagger is for Werner Lohm. And there is the thing we're waiting for, the score update after 3 games. Let's see our top 16 now. The top 16 now after 3 games on first position is Herman Wimmer with 723 pins, followed by Robert Vallon 709. Ulf Lundgren is on 706 on third position. Helmut Ulber 4th place 683. André Gelen 673. Ian Buckland 670. Werner Knöbel on place 7 656. Jürgen Preuss place 8 650. Alan Jenskins 642 on position 9. Eric Kaspari 640 place 10. Klaas Schotter 637 place 11. Mo Singleton 627 place 12. Luciano Di Rella 620 place 13. Pekka T. Ronkoski on place 14 with 619. Keith Hodge place 15 612, and on place 16 the cut in this moment is Marcel van der Pot with 606, so only 6 over for the cut. Leader Herman Wimmer 723, a scratch average of 220. Biggest average so far is Robert Vallon with 228.3 average. Lundgren 217.3 average. Ulber 212.6 average. Werner Knöbel 211.6 average. Ian Buckland 214.3 average scratch. And all the other players are lower than 200. No, only André Gelen is a 206 average. So on scratch based, there are only 7 players who play higher than 200 average in 3 games. The highest scratch is Robert Vallon, 228.3 average. Well, if somebody has troubles with the commercials of Ustream, there's a simple thing to avoid that, and you get no commercials anymore. Just install AdBlock Plus. Go to www.adblockplus.org and install AdBlock Plus for your web browser you're using, and you get no commercials anymore. And you can watch live stream whole day, no commercials of Ustream. So an easy thing to do. You have no commercials anymore. Dames en heren, dus als u kijkt, wilt u de reclames eruit hebben bij Ustream? Heel makkelijk, adblockplus.org. Daar even heen gaan, even installeren op je computer. Het kost je een minuutje werk, dan heb je geen reclames meer en kun je de hele dag livestream kijken, continu. Als u dus net bent ingeschakeld, u kijkt dus live naar de Dutch Senior Open 2014 live vanuit Chandra Bowling Nieuwegein. En we zijn dus bezig met de 4e game. Kwartfinale. De beste 16 spelers gaan door naar de halve finale. En dan komen er ook nog de beste 4 spelers bij die naar de kwalificatie bij de eerste 4 stonden natuurlijk. Waaronder Ron Oldfield uit Engeland. Voor degenen die hem niet kennen, hij is een Hall of Famer. Dus echt een hele goede bowler. Veel gewonnen in zijn leven natuurlijk. Die gaan wij straks sowieso zien in de halve finales. Hebben jullie trouwens vragen? Stel ze gerust in de chat. Komt helemaal goed. Er doen natuurlijk veel commentaar in het Engels, omdat het een internationaal toernooi is. Veel buitenlandse kijkers momenteel. Van over de hele wereld. Echt geweldig voor ons natuurlijk. Groot internationaal toernooi, het Senior Open. En niet te vergeten om morgen ook te kijken natuurlijk, want morgen krijgen we de Masters ook live op Dutch Bowling TV te volgen. Dan krijgen we echt waar de beste Europese senioren hier in actie. Die zich geplaatst hebben over alle toernooien. Die gespeeld zijn in heel Europa. Dat spektakel gaat morgen vroeg om 8:30 beginnen. En absoluut kijken, want daar ben ik ook.
Hi, I'm Steve Klemkin, Storm's Technical Director, and we're here to present to you the brand new Optimus. As you know, Storm's committed to outstanding research and development, and you'll see here a couple of key components that are like no other. R2X Pearl Reactive Cover Stock, we've used this before. It's a very strong, aggressive, proven cover stock that glides very easily through the heads and creates a very strong transition at the break point. But what's brand new is our tri-sphere core. There's nothing like it. You'll see a lot of development that comes out of this building here in Brigham City. A lot of cool development. In this shape, you're going to see a different motion on the lane that you haven't seen before. It has a lot more motion in the mid lane, and it complements the Marvel Pearl very nicely. You're going to see this shape, you're going to see a lot of tumbling, a lot of motion, a lot of action in the middle of that bowling ball that creates a lot of that strong motion and tip at the break point. And you'll still see that strong continuation through the backhand and through the pins that you've come to love from Storm. As you're watching the Optimus go down the lane, notice that ball create that strong mid-lane reaction. You can actually see that weight block in there creating a lot of energy throughout that 20 to 40 foot part of the lane. And when you talk to the professional bowlers, they'll come back to the same thing. They'll tell you the mid lane is where ball motion is really created. And that's what this new tri-sphere core does. And many of you have probably thrown as well the Marvel Pearl and the IQ Tour Fusion. These have been tremendous, tremendous bowling balls in our line. And the Optimus is going to be just as good, but in a different way. The Optimus creates more roll in the mid lane, picks up and gives that mid lane read just a little bit stronger and earlier, but still continues down lane. Still gives you that good backhand reaction that you've come to love from Storm. As you're watching the ball go through the pocket, notice how low it keeps the pins. That's the other thing. When you're looking at optimum pin carry, you're looking at the pins that are going to be able to knock around the other pins that are still on the deck the best. And the ones that are in the air are going to fly right over them or in front of them. You want to keep the pins low and you want to keep them on the deck, and the Optimus does that. Now make sure you get to your local Storm VIP Pro Shop soon. It is going to be available on July 1st, so you want to make sure you get your reservation in early because, again, the demand is very, very high. And thanks again for all your support. We really do appreciate it. And remember to always bowl up a storm.
Okay, we're back. Back on the lanes. Back on track. You see the Storm Optimus, one of the newest bowling ball releases from Storm. It's really a great ball. If you like a good roll in your ball in the mid lane, strong mid lanes. It's a very good ball to have in your bag. Storm Rotor Grip, one of our head sponsors here of this tournament. Also Baltic International. Chandra bowling also. And Mo Singleton was on front 5, but shoot a split. Wen Alon is doing very well in this game 4. Front 7, spare and open frame. Not bad. Could be high score. Massa van der Pot was struggling in the beginning. 3 open frames, but then he picked up with the spare, so he strike a spare split and then 3 in a row. Peter Knapp from Germany. There's a 4-bagger. And here are a future pair of lanes, lanes 7 and 8. You will see Juha Leti Kangas. I hope I say this name right, but guy with the orange shirt. Also Keith Hodge, Guy Laytree, Hodge was struggling and doing ball change now. Well, some pretty nice scores at this moment. Some pair of lanes. Oh, Vinci from Italy, 3 strikes, double spare and strike. And now he makes a double. Walking on a big comeback. While lanes 13 till 16 are finished with game 4. Erich Kaspari. Double strike, spare, strike, double spare, double strike and 8 spare. Can make 246 if he strikes out. Ralph Grauer is on 4-bagger, spare, double strikes, spare strike. And Hans de Jager, the guy from the Netherlands, finished with 263. That's a nice game. Let's take a look where Hans de Jager was in the ranking. Was on place 24. I think he moved up to top 16 in this moment. We're not sure about it, but what it looks like. Well, we try to give you some live scores of the screens here, but it walk not so fine, so we're doing it with a webcam close to the screens. What not walk for us. Get some troubles with the programs and we have to stop that. Otherwise you will get some lags in the screen and it's not what we want, of course. We want to have a perfect screen for you at home. Gunther Scholle We're walking on a 4-bagger here on line 8. There is the 4-bagger and a double in the dent, and 1 strike to go for 222. What will give him 14 over. Kaspari 26 over. Well, Wimmer is doing well. He is 180 over after 4. André Gelen 123 over. Vallon 112 over. So these 3 players still in the best 16 so far. Scholler strikes out for 222 and bring him on 814 total pinfall. Mo Singleton 9 and 10 makes a double strike. He's on 839 now, he's in frame 9. And here Ralph Grohe with a strike again, makes 3 strikes in the tent, and he finished 260, what will bring him on a total pinfall of 760. So these guys also walking on a comeback. Letigankas 9. If each pair he finished 226. Keith Hodge finished 191, makes total pinfall 803. Hodge was on place 15 with 12 over. Ulf Lundgren is on 915. I think those 4 we can count in the top 16 so far. Herman Wimmer with 980. I think he's still on top. 923 for André Gelen, 912 for Robert Vallons, and Ulf Lundgren 915. I think that these 4 are for sure in the top 16 now. And the big lead is for Wimmer. Three in a row for Mo Singleton. And if he strikes out, I think he's also in 900 total pinfall, what will bring him for sure in the top 16. Stronger in the top 16, I have to say, because he was on place 12 after 3 games. Oh, he leaves a split. 7 split. He's now on 256. So I take a look around. I think now 20 over or something like that. Seems to be enough to make the best 16 players. Singleton picks 2. On the split and finished 258, a total pinfall of 885 pins. When Alon is on 862. He's in the top 16 also. But here Santo Provenzi from Italy is on 825 and finished with 250. Probably that's enough so far in the top 16. We can ask or we can get a score update maybe. Okay, let's take a look. Peter Knapp from Germany. He's also one of the biggest players in this field. Play also a lot of tournaments in the States. Oh, that's skids too much, the ball. On line 7, and he leaves the 1, 2, 4, 6, 10 combination. Marcel van der Pop from the Netherlands. So 2 Dutch players on 7 and 8. Van der Pot and Passis. Here you have Jan Passis. Oh, he missed the 7 pin. There we go, Peter Knapp. Sponsored by Hammer. Oh, that was a nice shot, but it's solid 9. When alone. 10 pin. Well, hopefully we get a score update. Take a look to the left side. André Gele starts with 3 bagger. Jan Passies from the Netherlands. Leaves the 4 pin. And here the other guy from the Netherlands, Marcel van der Pot. Was the cut, place 16 after 3 games. Pin. Jan passes with a spare. And spare for Van der Pot. Nice shot went along. Some view in the other lanes. Ulf Lundgren from Sweden. First Peter Knapp. There's a strike for Peter. Lundgren here. From Sweden, double strike, 7 spare, and a 10 pin for him. And Hans de Jager from the Netherlands shoots a big game. Game 4, 263 total pinfall. And also a 10 pin for him. And there we got the score update after 4 games. Here we go. On top, place 1, Herman winner. 9.59. Followed by André Gelen, 9.05. Robert Vallons is on 3rd position, 9.04. Then we got the guy from Sweden, Ulf Lundgren, 8.97, followed by Helmut Huber with 8.90. Mo Singleton, the guy from England, with 8.85, followed by the German Werner Knöbel, 8.79, Erik Kaspari, 8.69 on place 8. Buckland is with 8.68 on place 9, Werner Lawn, 8.49 place 10, Hans de Jager from the Netherlands, 8.41 on place 11. Also Klaas Schodder, the Netherlands, 8.26 place 12. Jürgen Preuss with 8.26 place 13. Sandro Provenzi, Italy, 8.25 place 14. And 15th position is Letty Kangas with 8.24, and now the cut on place 16 is 8.23, Harry McDeacon. That's the cut, followed by number 17, Peter Knop, 8.18. So Knop has to go off the sheet now to get in the top 16. I know he wants to get in the top 16 for sure. Talked with him yesterday and it was okay, he told me, but was a little bit disappointed that he didn't get directly in the top 4 after qualification, what will bring him also directly in the semi-finals. But he's really close to the cut. It's only 5 pins. It's really nothing with 2 games to go. But it seems that we have in the semi-finals for sure Herman Wimmer, because he's on 9.59. That means a lead of amount 130 pins on place 16. So that should be enough to make the top 16 and the semi-finals. Peter Knop has a 3-bagger. And now a 7-pin. So no 4-bagger. Oh no, he missed the 7-pin. That's one thing you almost never see by Peter Knop. Misses a single pin. And on the same pair of lanes, Jan Passies from the Netherlands. Get 10 pin after his 3-bagger. Well, last game of this quarterfinal, and we have a new update after 5. We got 2 leaders, same score, 1170 for Ulf Lundgren and Herman Wimmer. Both take the lead here. André Gelen is on place 3, 1156. Robert Fallon, 4th position, 1136. Werner Knöbel on place 5 from Germany, 1112. Mo Singleton, England, 1093. And the same score for Ian Buckland, 1093. Hans de Jager moves up to place 8 from the Netherlands on 1091, and Eric Kaspari is now on place 9, 1070. Werner Lawn is on place 10 with 1067. Jürgen Preuss, 1062, place 11. Juha Letikangas, 1050, place 12. Gunther Schollen, 1045, place 13. Klaas Schotter, 1027, place 14. Peter Knop is now in the top 16 with 1018, and Harry McDeacon is the cut after 5 games with 16 over, 1060. Followed by the Italian guy Santo Provenzzi, 1014. So there is a lot of players here has chance to move in that top 16. I think place 20 also, Tiron Koski has 1001, so he is very close to the 16. And Knop is going wild here in front of us on lane 7-8. You saw a lot of slow motion strikes, but he's now on the spare, 5 in a row and a spare. And if Knop shoots a 220 plus, we can put him in the top 16 for sure. So Knop has to work on a comeback. Got only 4 pins bonus by his age. And the leader, Ulf Lundgren, you see him now on 5 and 6 with the black shirt there. He is in this game with a very nice start, a front 5 bagger. There we go. Can he make 6 in a row? Yes, there are 6 in a row from the guy from Sweden, Ulf Lundgren. So 6 in a row for him. And Knop has a strike in frame 8. The strike he needs. And if he makes a double and a spare, I think he's in the top 16. Really, you see, he knows exactly what to do. Just shoot a big game and you're in. Of course, the next final step, we all start from scratch again. Peter Knop, can he make the double? Seems a good shot, and it's a high flush. Double strike Peter Knop in frame 9 now. I think when he's not making a fault in the 10th frame, he's in the top 16. We can count him in. Dutch guys. Van der Pot shoots a strike, and now quickly back to the other Dutchman, Hans de Jager. He was doing very well the game before. He's now on strike, double spare, open frame, strike spare, and there's the strike again. The strike he needs. Now on 12-10. I think the Jager will make the top 16 also. But first, let's take a look at the Swedish guy with front 6. Oh no. I think he missed. You see the replay, yeah. Skids too much the ball and missed the pocket. There's a spare. And he's still on a 277 page. Scratch. Knop. 9 spare and 10 frame. It's now on 1260, 60 over, that's enough. So Knop is in the top 16. De Scholle. And Keith Hartz. And Knop finished with 252 and a total score of 1270. And makes the top 16. Okay. André Gelen is on 1321 now. He has 3 spares and a 4-bagger on lanes 3-4. Lundgren is on 1365 at this moment. Werner Laan finished 184, total pinfall 1251. I think 51 over, that's okay to make the top. Yeah, I think it's okay if you play 50 over. That should be enough to make the top 16. That's what it looks like from our position here. Hans de Jager is on 1210 this moment. Need a leader from Sweden, Lundgren, the leader after 5 games. There's a comeback for Marcel van der Pot. He was on place 23 from the Netherlands. Take a look at him now. Double strike in the 10th. And there's a 3 strikes in the 10th frame. So he finished 257 with a total pinfall of 1240, and probably that could be enough to reach top 16. That could be enough to reach top 16. Last shot from the pot. He's happy with it, of course, because probably it could be enough to get in that top 16. We got some finishes here. Peter Knop finished 12.17. Marcel van der Pot finished 12.40. Wenner Laan finished 12.51. Jan Passies 1077. That's not enough, so Jan is out. And we have some other finishes on lanes 1 and 2. I tried to figure out what the final scores are there. Knöbel finished 12.84, that should be enough. Then Buckland finished on 12.90, that is also enough. And then 12.24 for McDeacon, and that's enough or not. We will know it. They are finished. While the other players are still running in this 6th and last game. Auke Broekhuizen from the Netherlands. No, that's not enough. He's now on 1029. Too far. Deacon with a strike. It's now 1190. Also not enough, I think, to make the cut, because he can probably maybe he can reach 1230. So it's interesting, but he has to strike out to be sure. Hans de Jager is now on 156 with a total score of 1247, so he needs, I think he needs a spare just to be sure. Let's see how I can make good frame here. A 9 count. The leader, Lundgren, can make a double in the 10th frame. And it's a double. Final shot, Lundgren strikes out for a 260 including bonus. Yes. But will make a total pinfall of 1430 pins. So 230 over. And there's the spare for Hans de Jager. And I think this is enough to reach the top 16 for Hans. So we can count Hans de Jager in, Peter Knop we can count in, Werner Laan is in, Ulf Lundgren is in for sure, André Kelen is in with 1386 was his finish, Herman Wimmer is in with 1383, Robert Valjon is in. He finished on 30-23. That's enough. So these players for sure we'll see back in the next final step, the semi-finals. 20 players. Well, a lot of players on the side of the bowling center are fighting for still. They had their last chance. I think expected the cut will be about 30 over or something. Gunther Scholle finished on 12-25. So that's a score. Or you're in or you're just out. Letty Kanskas must throw a strike. He doesn't. It's a 6 count. And if he spare and strikes, he will finish out 12-21. That's, I think that's not enough. I think you need at least 25 over. Letty, strike, but it will not be enough. He's on 11.66, that's not enough. Keith Hodge is also out with 11.84. Juha finished on 12.13. I think that's not enough. Helmut Uber finished. No, he's not finished. He's now on 12.31, so probably that could be enough to reach the top 16. Les Grant is also out, will not have enough pins. Luciano Di Rella will not make it. Ralph Grohl will not make it. We're still on the last frames now of the last games, and then we have to wait what will be the cut. We can't see it from here, we don't have any live scoring. The only thing we can do is just look at the screens and see what the total pinfall is and guess what will be enough or not. But I think the cut will be around 25-30 over, something like there. Mo Singleton finished 13.06, so Mo Singleton we can count in. Buckland is also in, Ian Buckland. So I can tell for sure these players are in the top 16. You will see in the next final step. Ulf Lundgren, Herman Wimmer, André Gelen, Robert Vallons, Werner Knubbel, Mo Singleton, Ian Buckland, Hans de Jager, Erik Kaspani, Werner Lan and Peter Knop and Jürgen Preuss. And That are 12 players, we are sure, but we don't know what the cut is. And some can go in or just out. I think also Marcel van der Pot has enough with 1240. That's what it looks like. Looks like he has enough, but we have to wait for the final scores. Preuss got 1279. Yeah, he is enough. He was in, we count him in, okay. I think it's between Gunther, Schollen, Juha,
Okay, last strike for Nieuwegein. This concludes the quarterfinals. And now lane racing, and then we start as soon as possible with the
I think also Helmut Ulber is
men
in.
and women.
Santi Provenci also, he is 1255. Alan Jenskins, I think he make it with 1251. So that seems that it probably the cut is 40 over, or with that's Marcel van der Pot. Or is it Gunther with 1225? I think it's about that score. We have to wait for it. So far, I would say thank you for watching these first final step, and we see you back, of course, in the